The Ravens continue to move through the season and want to find a way to secure win number 3 on the year. It's the Browns going up against the Ravens. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback. They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Finding time. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but they didn't.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The Ravens send their punter out now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. Fielded at the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And a look here at the veteran under center, their 7th-year quarterback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
Timmy Jernigan, play him over the nose, play him a defensive tackle, bounce him out to defensive end. Wherever you want to put him, Timmy Jernigan can play.
And the offense needs 7 out of this play on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first, and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle, because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone. A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time. One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So we'll get the penalty all sorted out when we get back. 2-0 is our score. We're back to Baltimore after this. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Back to throw again. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, He heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
It got his man complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes it.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Simple slant route and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendencies. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Baltimore after this. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. They go play action here on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great.
And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Give him 27 yards that time. And that'll be good for Baltimore first.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll look to throw over the middle, and it's incomplete. Second down now after the incompletion. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed. Yeah, you're right. The sink just wasn't there.
That is caught at the 7. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board, no matter what the score says at that.
Okay, so Larry apparently giving us the silent treatment all of a sudden, and we're going to skip ahead to quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on third. Back to throw here. Wide open receiver complete. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll look to throw again. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Well, he just threw an interception last drive. Nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of just been driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? 'Cause that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them.
This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's third and goal. Back to throw again. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Their dangerous wide receiver. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower. Bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And a throw right sideline is complete. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, you don't have to be super tall to still execute a good fade route. You run a good route, lean away from the defender.
How about a good pass?
There you go. There you go. You got to have that to finish things off. And they got the full combo on that play.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. They're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
They're going to look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And give him 12 yards and a 1st down. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Surveying the field. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he comes back with one complete. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Right side, caught Fedorowicz. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 16 on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Baltimore 1st down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 1st touchdown on the year. And the Ravens draw a bit closer. So a tiptoe catch back in the end zone, so tough to do, but he made it look pretty easy.
Certainly did, and the back of the end zone is treated the same way as the sideline. You have to get your feet down, inbounds, for it to count as a catch. How about the backgrounds of some of these guys, though? Did they work on it? Maybe some of them were ballet, some dance, who knows?
Yeah, you and I were talking the other day. I remember one of my favorite kids shows growing up. I don't know that I want to name it, but guys like Lynn Swan, they used to be on there showing their ballet skill.
And you have to remember when they were kids and their parents would tell them to take the ballet classes, you know they were fighting them like crazy. But right now they're saying, thanks, Mom.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver or tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Getting late here in the fourth, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will be stopped here for no gain, and then it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third down.
Could be a blitzer.
Back to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no good plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. Second down following the incompletion.
Here we go. Green 39.
He's back to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
They come out here in the eye. They go play action here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
Here we go.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Cleveland, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.